कृपा से महाराज जी हमारा जीवन चलाया। और आज भी मुझे ऐसा लगता है, जब भी मैं गुरु वैष्णव के संग रहता हूँ तो मुझे लगता नहीं कि महाराज जी है नहीं। और अंतिम पवित्र लाल जी का नाम तभी जिज्ञासा करता है गुरु वैष्णव आए तो कितना होती है। मैं भटका हुआ था बचपन में, मैंने इंट्रोडक्शन हुआ तो मुझे ज्ञान तो नहीं, लेकिन गुरु वैष्णव से कुछ कथा श्रवण की तो महाराज मुझे पता नहीं, मेरे अंदर कोई साधन भजन में नहीं था, लेकिन गुरु वैष्णव मेरे दयालु है। सभी शास्त्रों का खूब ज्ञान है, कथा भी बहुत बोला सभी ने महाराज से रहते हुए, लेकिन हमको महाराज खड़ा कर देते थे तो मैं डर की वजह से जाता था। और मेरा गुरु भाई कृष्णा उसने तो झूठ के कह दिया महाराज जी तो कीर्तनिया है, लेकिन महाराज जी ने दयालु तो महाराज जी ने सभी का कल्याण किया। जो भी महाराज जी ने बताया कि एक का ही नहीं, सभी का कल्याण किया और सबको अपनाया। किसी के अंदर भक्ति है नहीं है, साधन भजन है नहीं है, किसी को जाने नहीं दिया। जय जय श्री राम। तो इसमें अंतिम पवित्र में 4 लाइन है, संसार में बहुत सुंदर सुंदर भक्तों की प्राप्ति हो सकती है, यहाँ तक वैदिक मिल सकता है, लेकिन संतों का समागम, उनका दर्शन, उनकी रहती कृपा किसी किसी भाग्यशाली को होती है जो इस प्रश्न को, इस अपराधी को प्राप्त हुई। जय जय श्री राम। Thank you.
You have sang so well. Really, the mother of Raj is so beautiful.
Namo maha-bhagavata Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna chaitanya namne gauratise namaha He Krishna karuna sindhu dinabandho jagatpate Bhuvi sagapita kanta Radha kanta namostute Taptakanchana gaurangi Radhe vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu sute devi Pranamami haripriya Om vrindavai tulasi devai priyavai Keshavasya cha Krishna bhakti prade devi Sattvatvai namo namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Oh, sou eu, sou eu.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare सबसे पहले मेरे गुरुपाद पद्मों नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर सदस्य श्रीमद भक्ति वेदांत
Tudo minha reverência. Before I would like to offer my obeisance to my Gurudeva, Intele Vishnu Vishnupada, Srila Bhakta Vedanta, Srila Vamana Goswami Maharaj, Intele Vishnu Vishnupada, Srila Tarashata, Srila Bhakta Vedanta, Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj. My Dandavat pranams I offer to them again and again. After that, also my obeisances to Intele Vishnu Vishnupada, Astotarashata, Srimad Bhakti Vedanta, Srila Swami Maharaj, Srila Guru Govinda Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakta Rakshakshadhar Goswami Maharaj, and all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, so all the affectionate mothers. Krishna Kripa Prabhu vai entrar no português. And also my obeisances to Prabhupada Charan, Shripad Madhav Maharaj, Narasimha Maharaj, and also to Diri Krishna Prabhu, to the feet of everyone. I offer my obeisances again and again. Please accept according to your eligibility. So today is the 5th day of the Bhagavat Katha. Tomorrow yesterday we told about the birth, the appearance of the Supreme Lord. So yesterday we spoke about Krishna, who is the Supreme Controller. We spoke about his birthday, his appearance day, his Janma Lila Katha. In a brief way, we spoke about this, we heard about this yesterday. Actually, the katha is very beautiful. When everybody speaks the katha of Gurudeva, I feel my tongue like itching because I also want to speak it because there's no difference between devotee and Lord. Actually, the Bhagavatam explains only a little bit about Krishna. Actually, mainly in the Bhagavatam, explains the glories of the devotees of Lord in the Bhagavatam, mainly. Like, for example, the story of Devaki Maharaj, Prahlada Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj. Yesterday I spoke about the story of Ambarish Maharaj. And also all the devotees of Braja, Mathura, Dwaraka, everything is described in the Bhagavatam about the devotees. Because Bhagavan says, I'm not different from my devotees, I'm not different from my devotees. That's why in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Sanatana Goswami explains about Bhakta, Bhakti, Bhagavan. The three of them is very special. Like Bhagavan does not exist without his devotees, and the devotees, they don't exist without the God. Like they depend on each other. So in the same way, there's the grantha-bhagavata, the book, and Bhakta Bhagavan, the devotee of Lord. But our acharyas explain that to understand the grantha-bhagavata, the book, to have realization of the grantha-bhagavata, you need the Bhakta Bhagavata. You need to listen about the life history of the devotees of Lord, the Bhakta Bhagavata's life history. So in this context, we are celebrating the 100th centennial of Gurudeva's appearance, and then we did this Bhagavat Saptaha because of this. But actually, we want to listen about the life of Gurudeva. How did Gurudeva? He was Trinada Pisunich, more humble than a blade of grass. Also, we can see that. And Gurudev was so tolerant also. So the 5 qualities of a sadhu, it is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Which one? Titikshava, karunikam. So the sadhus, they are always tolerant, always merciful, no enemies. So the devotees in the sadhu, they have 5 qualities. Titikshava means they are so tolerant. You see, so Gurudeva, for example, now I'm remembering something about Gurudeva in Gopinatha Bhavan. In the time of establishing the deity of Gopinatha Bhavan, at that time we used to always to stay near to Gurudeva. So you can also see in the pictures that when we are always next to Gurudeva, always. I'm one of those who are always next to Gurudeva. You can see in the pictures. But now, Gurudev is so far, I don't know where. Just like an ocean. These big waves are coming. It's a great storm is going on. Looks like this. In this context, Srila Bhakti began, Bharati Goswami Maharaj used to say, I heard from his lotus mouth. Srila Bhakti began, Bharati Goswami Maharaj. He told, when my Gurudev was doing pastimes, manifested, Bhakti Daita Madhav Goswami Maharaj, his Gurudev. I spent 50 years with my Gurudev. I spent 50 years in the service of my Gurudev, always next to him, like around him. I used to do all the service for Gurudeva, all the service Gurudeva gave. So 50 years spent like it was 5 days, he told like this. But now that Gurudeva disappeared, one moment looks like 1,000 years. Looks like the time is not passing. Actually, this is the separation. So when Gurudeva stays with us, near us, his love and affection, his ideal behavior is like unexplainable. You cannot explain by words the affection of Gurudeva. So, for example, I was speaking about the titikshava, the tolerance. Titikshava means tolerance. This is called titikshava. Okay, so in Gopinatha Bhavan, the Vigraha Pratishta was going on, establishing the dates of Gopinatha Bhavan, and Gurudev was there present, and They were giving the bath in the deity with 5 elements: honey, yogurt, ghee, etc. So one devotee was putting the pouring on top of the deity, the bucket with these items. So the ghee spilled and stained the cloth of Gurudeva. Gurudeva didn't say anything. Madhav Maharaj is used to serve Gurudeva as Gurudeva was the star of his eyes, pupil of his eyes. So Madhav Maharaj told Gurudeva, change clothes, and then Gurudeva slapped him. So many people are here, do you think I'll go to my room just to change my clothes? Like she was saying, if you put your feet, you cannot go away. Like she was saying, this is also the fixed. Cannot go away after you come. If you don't come, no problem. But if you came to the hari-katha, then you must sit down. Don't stand. Gurudeva used to say, when the preaching was going on, like hari-kathas, for 3 hours Gurudeva was sitting down. Isn't it? Maharaj, I have another thing to do. No, he will not allow you to go. I tell the truth. Your excuse will not be, I spoke, then I can go. No. Gurudev used to sit down for 3 hours. Who is old? Raise your hand. Who was old? I mean, old here. Who saw? Gurudev would not even to pass water, to urinate. When assembly of the sadhus here, the great knowledge of people, Gurudev used to sit for 3 hours listening their katha. This is called Marjada etiquette. Listen, I have to tell the truth. If you sit down, you have to sit down. Just if you sit down, you have to sit down for 3 hours. You have to sit down controlling. Maybe even you pee on your pants, but you cannot leave the Vyasasana to go anywhere else if you sit for the Bhagavatam. This is true or not? Have you seen all the great Bhagavata speakers? They have to sit for 3-4 hours sitting in the Vyasasana. Do you think he doesn't want to pass water or stool? No, before sitting he has to do. But if the person is giving the Bhagavad, he must follow all these rules and the etiquette. No, I spoke, now I will go. Only if it's some very special occasion. Maybe the person had a heart attack, then okay, can go. But I didn't have a heart attack, and now you're saying it's getting night time and you have to go because it's night time. They came from Vrindavan. Every day they're coming up and down from Vrindavan. To understand? It's bitter, but it's true. This is a thing of love and affection, I'm telling. No. Drink water? Okay. Bring the water. Where's the water? Bring. I'm just saying that you can see. I'm just reminding yourselves of Gurudev. So the clothes of Gurudev got a little bit wet or dirty because of this. And Kartik is a little bit cold weather. So his clothes were wet because the devotee was pouring the bath in the deity and wet Gurudev a little bit. So Madhav Maharaj told Gurudev said, I will not change clothes. And then Madhav Maharaj asked me to ask to Gurudev. Then I told Gurudev, change your clothes, otherwise your health will be bad. You'll be ill. And then Gurudev, no. Then I told Gurudev, do one thing. These clothes, your... You don't need to go anywhere. We just bring another cloth for you. These internal clothes, like the part. So we'll bring a dry cloth for you. Then you can change. Then Gurudev told, this also no, I will not do. Like change here, take out these wet clothes. Because he was held by rules at that moment, the etiquette. He had to sit down and continue there. So I'm telling about the tolerance of Gurudeva. So I remember many kathas of Gurudeva. Gurudeva was always considering all this in the assemblies. So great Panditas used to come here, like for example Manohara Lal Shastra, he used to come here. Also the Vasudeva Krishna Chaturvedi. Need one page just to put all the titles of this man. So many titles he has. Gurudev, what did he used to do? So Gurudev used to say, tomorrow celebrate Krishna's birthday. The people in Mathura say that Krishna was born where? Where? No, the people from Mathura, they say that Krishna was born in Mathura. Those who live in Mathura, they say that Krishna was born where? In Mathura, at the jail of Kamsa. People say like this. And they call Krishna Devaki Sutta, the son of Devaki, isn't it? They call Krishna Devaki Nanda. There are some shlokas also, the Bhagavata, calling Krishna Devaki Nanda, even the gopis call Krishna Devaki Nanda. But those who live in Gokul, they say, Krishna is Yashoda Nanda, the son of Yashoda. Our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he spoke this verse. The only meaning he knows about the name of Krishna is that Krishna is Shyamasundar and Yashoda Nandana. Okay, so nowadays if you go to Gokula, you see that place where there are 84 pillars, that temple. The Brahmanas there in that place, where the house of Krishna, they say, Krishna was born in Gokula and he was raised in Gokula. He was raised in Gokula. He was born in, and Gurudev used to say, I'll not give dakshin if you say like this. I'll not give donation. I'll not even come back. Nobody will come back here. You have to say it properly. Krishna appeared in Mathura. And Krishna was born where? In Gokula. And who are the parents of Krishna? Nanda and Yashoda. You have to say it like this. Then I'll come back here. Gurudeva told the Brahmanas there in that place. You see the power of Gurudev. And when the Pandits were sitting here, Gurudev also told them, according to the Subhadani commentary, also commentary of Srila Vishwanath Thakur, you can see. Read the shloka of the Bhagavatam. So Gurudeva was indicating each shloka and showing them. Then this Manohara Lal Shastri, then he told, yes. Yeah, this is true. The eternal parents of Krishna are Nanda and Yashoda. Because one speciality of Gurudev is that if any apasiddhanta was there, some error in the siddhanta, some mistake in the conceptions of the scriptures, Gurudev could not tolerate that. Even Gurudev used to interrupt great Panitas in the middle and saying, no, you're not speaking proper siddhanta. So Gurudev, he was a fearless speaker. Wherever Gurudev used to go, he was without any fear, without like so boldly. He would establish the perfect Shastra Siddhanta. So I'm remembering something about Gurudev. Gurudev also used to say, look, you should always go with me everywhere. Wherever I go, whenever I speak hari-katha, you should stay with me, come with me from hari-katha to my hari-katha. Because one day this will be useful for you. Like you will see what I speak, which siddhanta I give. You listen to this, and then one day, in the future, you'll be able to protect the sampradaya. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Pada, he is called the. So there are 64 limbs of bhakti. Vishwanath Chakravarti explains, Adu Guru Mukhat hari-katha Shravanam. What is the duty of the disciple? Only take diksha and go away? You're a boomerang disciple? No. I went. Then after 50 years comes back, hey Gurudeva, do you recognize me, Gurudeva? At that time you had 15 years old. When took diksha you were 15 years old. And now after 50 years you come back, you're 65 years old. No, he took diksha for 50 years. He was 15 years old. Then after 50 years comes back. So this 65 years old, the person comes back when he's 65. Listen about mathematics, come on. 15 plus 50. Okay, let me tell you about you. Okay, so you took diksha when you were 15 years old. Then for 50 years you were other place. Then when you came back you were 65 years old. So did you change, like your body changed or not? When you were 15 you were so beautiful that time, when you were 15. Very beautiful, I know, when you were 15. But after when you're 65 years old, or you're at old age and ugly. So Gurudeva asked, what is your name? Gurudeva, did you forget me? Gurudeva, how could you forget me? You coming back after 50 years. But for 50 years you forgot Guru, but now you come back and say, Gurudeva, you cannot even remember my name, Gurudeva. No. So the duty of the disciple is adu guru mukhat hari-katha sravanam. The duty of the disciple is that in the beginning, the disciple must listen hari-katha from Guru, the conception of Guru. He must. Otherwise, in the future, what will you speak? What will you speak? Like she spoke very nicely, that Gurudev, he taught us so many things. And we listen from Gurudev. This is true. Yesterday, I was giving that lecture for the Holland devotees. I told, when Gurudev was manifested in this world, we never used to listen here and there hari-kathas from others. When Gurudev used to speak hari-katha, bas, any other maha-bhagavata could come or be in another place speaking any hari-katha or giving great lectures, but we would never ever go anywhere else. So this used to only listen to the conceptions of Gurudeva. Gurudeva used to teach us everything, like she was speaking. Gurudeva taught us the sandarbhas and he taught us all the books. This is true. So 4 times per day, Gurudeva used to give us class. He used to tell the brahmacharis to stand up and they should speak some siddhanta and pronounce the shlokas also. So this is called Guru Mukhat Shravanam, listening from the mouth of Guru. So you have to listen from the mouth of Guru, then you will feel faith. I had heard this from my Guru, and this thing I'm telling to you. But those who never listen from Guru, what they will be able to tell? They'll just speak things here and there. No, like this, no. That's why you have to take this conception, the speciality of Gurudev. You have to listen about his conceptions and ideas. Just like about today's Avirbhava, the appearance of Srila Trivikrama Maharaj. I thought that some devotee might speak about him, but nobody touched this topic today. Okay, no problem. Srila Trivikrama Maharaj, our Trivikrama Maharaj, was so great personality. He was a maha-bhagavata. Externally, if you look, he looks a normal person. So how is the heart of the sadhus? Like a coconut. Like a coconut. Have you seen a coconut? How is a coconut? Externally, the coconut is very hard, but internally, their heart is very soft. Just like the white bread inside the coconut, and you can eat very nicely. There's water also inside the coconut. If you're feeling thirsty and hungry, you can just eat one coconut and you feel satisfied. I go to Brazil. In Brazil, they have big coconuts in Brazil. If you drink the water from one coconut, your belly will be so full, also satisfied. And also there's a beautiful malai, like the pulp of the coconut, you can also eat and all your hunger will disappear. So, Srila Trivikrama Maharaj, externally he was very hard. I thought that maybe Umadidi would come today and speak about him, because Umadidi, she had so much relationship with Srila Trivikrama Goswami Maharaj. Trivikrama Goswami Maharaj is in the pictures. So he was so knowledgeable, very learned and scholar. Even he got so many Prakrita Vidyamis and material knowledge also. He had so much. He was which title in his life sister? Engineer. So he had a graduation, he had a job, then he had even a wife, and then he gave up everything. Then the wife came after him and said, if you don't come back to my house, I'll die, I'll kill myself here. Then Trivikrama Maharaj said, before you kill yourself, I will put fuel on your body and I'll give the matches to burn your body alive. So Trivikrama Maharaj used to say like this. So when he used to give hari-katha, he used to start in Jivera Swarup Hoy Krishna Nityadas and stay there. Only speaking about one sloka of Bhagavata. Labdas Durlabam. Vishaya Kolo Sarvatasyan. So he would speak 1 hour only about this. Our Trivikrama Goswami Maharaj. That's why the Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti had 3 pillars. Srila Vamana Goswami Maharaj, second Srila Trivikrama Goswami Maharaj, and third Srila Gurudeva Srila Narayana Goswami Maharaj. So they are the 3 pillars of Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti, just like Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. So what is the duty of Brahma? To create. Now Gurudeva Srila Vamana Goswami Maharaj, he used to give diksha to the people. So it's like having a baby. Like yesterday, I think somebody spoke. I think Umadidi maybe. Gurudev told, Narayana Goswami Maharaj told, you give birth to the baby, but who has to change the diapers of the babies, like cleaning the, not change the, like cleaning the baby after stooling and passing is me. Like I have to take care of the baby. So Narayana Goswami Maharaj saying. So he was Diksha Guru. Srila Vamana Maharaj was Diksha Guru. And Srila Narayana Goswami Maharaj used to nourish all the devotees with the hari-katha and the shastra gyan, etc. So he has the duty of the role of Vishnu. And Srila Trivikrama Goswami Maharaj, he is compared to Lord Shiva, Shivji. Shivji, what does he do? He destroys everything. So if you listen to one of the lectures of Srila Trivikrama Goswami Maharaj, just like she's saying, Trivikrama Maharaj would say, hey, sit down. He would only speak about this ahara nidra bhayamatunancha, like eating, sleeping, defending, meeting, 4 animal things. So when
जब मर करके छाई हो जाए, छाई समझते हो, रात बन जाता है, फिर तब तो उसके पहले तक तो कुछ है, और कभी आत्मा को संसार भी करना नहीं चाहिए. So it should also never glorify yourself. Sometimes in some special cases this comes from your mouth, from your tongue, but Shastra explains that you should never glorify your own. Like you should never praise yourself. You should never praise yourself, never. Other people will praise you. Oh, you did so much service. So those who does service is never saying that he does service. So like for example, Premananda Prabhu, I've seen. He said, he used to say, I'm the servant, I'm the employee of this temple, I'm like a servant here. He was so humble. Those who are serving, they never glorify, praise themselves. Okay, in some special occasion, maybe this comes from their tongue, but this is another thing. But Shastra explains that you should never glorify yourself. Otherwise, people will laugh at you. So Mahaprabhu told them, not Bhagavan. I'm just an insignificant Mayavadi sannyasi. And he was Bhagavan Krishna himself. Mahaprabhu told my Guru thought I am stupid, so that then I don't have eligibility to read the Vedanta. Mahaprabhu told Gurudeva, told to his Guru, Gurudeva, can I read Shastra? And Guru told him, his Guru, you are foolish. Actually, this is the humility of Mahaprabhu. Conception of Mahaprabhu is Trinada Pisunechana, and then after that, if you want to chant holy names, you have to glorify others actually. This is the speciality of Gurudeva. So our Srila Trivikrama Goswami Maharaj, Srila Vamana Goswami Maharaj, when the 3 of them they were together sitting, my Gurudeva Srila Vamana Goswami Maharaj, he would not speak. Sim, ele dizia que ele era o servo. Empregado. So, after both spoke,
Srila Trivikrama, Srila Narayana Goswami. Then Srila Vamana Maharaj was to speak just a little bit. Imagine in the time of Navadvip Parikrama, thousands of people actually were disciples of Srila Vamana Maharaj. Everybody wants to listen to Hari-katha from the mouth of Gurudeva. But Srila Gurudeva, Srila Vamana Goswami Maharaj used to speak only a little bit at that time. And then all the katha he told to Srila Trivikrama Maharaj. Srila Trivikrama Maharaj used to be the Sabhapati, the head of the assembly, like coordinator. No, I think so. Srila Vamana Goswami Maharaj was the head of the assembly, but actually he was inviting everybody to speak, the brahmacharis, mainly Srila Trivikrama Goswami Maharaj and Srila Narayana Goswami Maharaj. You can also ask Dire Krishna Prabhu. Srila Narayana Goswami Maharaj also. He used to tell, imagine, thousands of people came to see Srila Narayana Goswami Maharaj. Everybody came to listen to the katha of Gurudev, Srila Narayana Goswami Maharaj. But Gurudev, Srila Narayana Goswami Maharaj, you can ask to Dire Krishna Prabhu, he was the witness. All the Gurudev used to tell all the brahmachari sannyas to stand up and to speak also. And then Gurudev used to speak only a little bit in the end, at the end. So this is the glory of Gurudeva. So we have to follow these ideal conceptions of Gurudeva, how Gurudeva was so glorious and great personality. So how great was Gurudeva? So imagine if you're standing at the base of the Himalaya mountain. Our Prabhu used to give a beautiful example. Dire Krishna Prabhu is so much tattagya. He knows all the tattvas. He used to speak a lot of hari-katha. Very beautiful. Our Dire Krishna Prabhu, he has read all the Shastra. His wardrobe is full, his cupboard is full of books. When I go to Rupa Sanatana, I take books from him to study. He's so knowledgeable and scholar. So he gave many examples. I liked so much. So imagine if you're standing close to the Himalayas and you have some hat on your head. Imagine a hat which is like the shape of a boat, just like those who are in the army. Their kind of hat is just like, my hat is like this, round, but some people use hat like in the shape of a boat. Have you seen a little bit like? So he gave a nice example. I like it so much. Now imagine you're facing up, trying to look to the Himalayas, and then your head falls down because you're looking so high. In the same way, Gurudev is so great. The Gurudev is so ideal. The conception of Gurudev, he said, it's just like a great Himalaya mountain, so high Himalaya mountain. And how Gurudev did give honor to his god brothers, just like Dire Krishna Prabhu also told. Now we don't see this so much, very few, very less, very rare. But Gurudeva, what did he used to do? How he used to give so much love and affection to his god brothers. Even he had so much for Bhakta Swami Maharaj, so much love and affection for Bhakta Swami Maharaj, and following all the rules and love and affection. Gurudeva wrote one book. Which book? My Shiksha Guru Priya Bandhu. My Shiksha Guru and Priya Bandhu. So Swami Maharaj was his Shiksha Guru and at the same time his Priya Bandhu, dear friend. Isn't it? So actually this book should, in Brazil, also in Portuguese and also in Spanish language, I inspire the devotees to preach this book everywhere, in all the languages. Because how Gurudev was so great. Gurudev goes to Western countries, so many countries, in India and also Western countries. So if there was 5 days hari-katha, okay, suppose for 7 days, in the first day Gurudeva doesn't speak, and in the last day of the, you can ask Dire Krishna Prabhu, he knows, in the last day of the program was farewell, like farewell of the hari-katha, concluding the hari-katha. So for 5 days the program. For 2 days, only Gurudeva used to speak about Srila Swami Maharaj and the glories of the other acharyas also. And then for 3 days only, Gurudeva used to speak something about the Bhagavatam. Gurudeva, his glory was like that. Gurudeva was so glorious. You can see how was Gurudeva so great. So whatever we got our Gurudeva, he was not ordinary. He's directly the Ramana Manjari Swarup. Yesterday I also told. Maybe, I don't know if you don't know, but when we were brahmacharis at that time, actually, Gurudeva already told us. We already knew that Gurudeva was Ramana Manjari. I don't want to glorify myself. Those who knew, those who stayed with Gurudev very close by. Gurudev never hid this. Just like Srimad Bhagavata explains, that the Guru will speak everything in front of the Guru, of the disciple, who is very snigdha, affectionate and pure heart. The pure-hearted disciple, the Guru will tell everything to the pure-hearted disciple, will speak everything. So this is the speciality of Gurudeva. In the copy, means in the notebook of Savita Didi, Gurudeva, or maybe in the notebook of Gurudeva, he wrote this, he signed, I think also. How many years ago? 40 years back. Okay. Gurudev, yeah, he signed. What he wrote? SMM. Srimati Ramana Manjari. SRM. Gurudeva signed like this in the notebook. SRM. So people knew later, and also after his disappearance. It was in 1982 he wrote like this. SRM. He signed Ramana Manjari. So we sat down for the Bhagavatam. So the glory of Gurudev. So you got this kind of Gurudev. So you serve this kind of Gurudev. This fruit will never go in vain, never ever. But you have to be careful with something. If you did some offense, then everything finished. Just like the bath of the elephants. What is this? Just like the elephant, he is also taking bath in the Ganges. With his trunk, he is taking the water in the Ganges river, and then the elephant is playing the water and cleaning himself. But then after, the elephant comes out of the water, comes to the bank of the river, takes also with his trunk all that dust, like the sand, and puts it on his body. So means if you get this high-class Guru, if you commit offense to the lotus feet of Guru, everything is destroyed. So this is called sadhu, saudhan. Sadhu, be careful. A sadhu, practitioner, be careful. Careful for not to commit any offense. You have to be careful. You have to give attention. If you commit offense to the feet of Guru, everything, all you did, everything you're crying, everything, it's useless. Try to understand it. Gurudev used to say also this. You should never commit any offense to the feet of Guru. This Guru who gave shelter to us, this Guru that gave us the mantras. You should never ever, not even slightly, commit any offense to him. Okay, now for 2 minutes, we still have 2 minutes. Okay, so let's speak some Bhagavad Katha. For 2 minutes, I'll finish in 2 minutes. Arati is about to start, so you can prepare the Arati. So yesterday we heard that Krishna was born where? In the prison of Kamsa. Actually, he appeared to Devaki Vasudeva. The Vaishnavas explain Avirbhava means Krishna appeared. But Krishna was born where? In Gokul. From the womb of the Mother Yashoda, just like a normal human being. So there was the umbilical cord, cutting the umbilical cord. This happened in Vrindavan. Our acharyas explain. So a question might arise. Why Krishna manifested from the Nitya Goloka Vrindavanadam in this material world? Parikshit Maharaj asked, he asked this question to Shukadeva Goswami. So many pastimes going on in the transcendental world. Why Krishna wanted to manifest his pastimes here as well? So in this context, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad and also Jiva Goswami and also Srila Gurudeva, they gave beautiful commentaries for 2 reasons. One is the main reason, principal cause, and second is Gauna Karan, secondary reason. So the main reason why Krishna wanted to appear in this world is because the Lila is going on in Nitya Goloka Vrindavanadam. There in the spiritual world, there is no Bada Jiva, conditioned soul. Everybody is liberated soul, serving God all the time. There's no Maya there. That place is beyond Maya. The abode of Lord is Maya-tit, means beyond of Maya. Maya cannot enter the abode of Lord. And there, also, in the spiritual world, everybody is absorbed in service of Lord. It's called Anandamaya Dham, means the place full of bliss. There's no Nirananda. Nirananda would be like the opposite, antonym word of Ananda, means the opposite of Ananda. No. There is only Ananda, only bliss. Bliss. There's no antonym. The Panditas explain that everything has an antonym. Antonym, like the opposite word. So what is the antonym or opposite word of Ananda? Bliss. Nirananda, like no bliss. Actually, this word doesn't exist. Nirananda, like not bliss, doesn't exist. It's Nirananda you add as like a prefix. Then you say Nirananda, actually you're adding a prefix. It's like, for example, what is the antonym of night? Day, like opposite of night, day and night, But Ananda, actually bliss, there's no antonym or opposite words. We forcefully create this word like Nirananda, because Ni is one kind of a prefix, Abi, these prefixes, prefix. So the Panditas, they discuss about this. So the Bhagavat Dham of Lord is such a place that only Anandamaya Dham means a place full of bliss, and you have to practice again and again to attain this bliss, like Vedanta Sutra explained, Anandamaya Bhyasat, and Shankaracharya also explained, and also our Guru Vedantacharyas also, that in the transcendental world there is no unhappiness at all. In this world there is bliss, but this bliss of this world is temporary and very small, and mixed also with other things. But in the transcendental world is only Ananda Chimaya, transcendental bliss. That place is Ananda Chimaya Dham, eternal world, transcendental, full of bliss. Ananda Dham, there is no unhappiness there. So in this context it explains, everybody is feeling so much bliss in the transcendental world. Everybody is absorbed in serving Krishna. We have so much time left. So you want to describe, the gopis, they are swakiya or parakiya. So all this conception, if you ask to Srimati Radhika, are you married or not? She said, I don't even have time to think if I'm married or not. Srimati Radhika could say, I'm only thinking about Krishna all the time and serving him. Like in the transcendental world, they don't have time for these discussions. Absorbed in service. Those who stay absorbed in the service, they don't have time to speak other things, to gossip, or because those who don't have anything else to do, then they sit in anywhere and start speaking something about others, or speaking anything like praising themselves or criticizing others. But in the transcendental world, it's not like that. In that world, everybody is only absorbed in service of Govinda. It's a place full of bliss. Jiva Goswami wrote in the commentary, I'm not saying, you can read and see and find. If you ask to Srimati Radhika, did you get married or not? She'll not even know the answer, because she's only absorbed in service to Krishna. Not even, she doesn't wait, not even for one moment. Sometimes Jogamaya, just for them to relish Parakiya Rasa, then Srimati Radhika thinks, I'm the wife of another person. Only this bhav, this mood is coming. Jiva Goswami explains, I am the wife of another. So, for some moment, this mood comes in her heart. But actually, they are always absorbed in service to Krishna. Many kinds of service. So, Shukadeva Goswami, he told this verse. So to give mercy to the living entities. Krishna appeared from the Nitya Goloka Vrindavana Dham, transcendental world, with his associates, with his Dhamma also, in this material world. he also manifests his own Dhamma in this material world. Why? So that people can see these pastimes, also listen about these pastimes. And if you absorb in these pastimes, the jiva will be able to be delivered from this material world. Bhagavan told himself, if you absorb in me, if you absorb yourself in me, if you listen to my hari-katha, then automatically all your lust and anger, they'll go away. To conquer the lust, the sexual activities, is not possible for anyone to conquer this. Even great saints, yogis, people who control their senses and all their minds, they fell in the water, like they drowned in the water. Like means they couldn't control the lust. Just like that Vishwamitra, when he heard the sound of the bangles of that heavenly damsel, he heard the sound of her bangles and finished for him. He stopped meditation and he caught hold of her hand, and then they started dancing. They started dancing. Finish. Even Srimad Bhagavatam explains Mohini Rupa. When Krishna, as like Mohini, he showed his form to Shiva. Shiva wanted to see his form. Okay, so Shiva's clothes fell, like the part that covers the parts of Shiva fell down, and Shiva wanted to embrace Mohini Rupa. You see, this happened to Shiva. And Brahma also, another thing also happened to him. Actually, they are liberated souls, but they are doing pastimes. You see, Brahmaji was even running behind his own daughter. Okay, so to conquer Maya is not easy at all. But see, how to conquer Maya? If you listen this katha and listening slowly, you become absorbed. Only that. No need to do anything else. That's why there's the shloka in the Bhagavatam. If you listen this katha and just become absorbed, finish. And you don't have the bodily conception, I'm a boy, I'm a girl, I'm a woman or a man. No. That's why there's shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam. He's like a normal human being. The Supreme Lord, Brajananda Sundara, he is coming to this material world and doing pastimes. Although he is unborn, he took birth from the womb of his mother. Also, there was the cut of umbilical cord. Yesterday I spoke a bit about this. There was the cut of umbilical cord of Krishna. So mercifully. So this is the main reason why he come. Before also I told, Srimati Radhika herself told, hey Shuka, parrot, you go to the earth planet, go to the place of Maya. These jivas, they are so unhappy. They are following their lives thinking they are the body. So you go there to the Prithvi, to the earth planet, and tell what happens in the transcendental world. So this is Bhagavad Gita. Listen, hari-katha. Bhagavan says, what can you give to me? What can you give to me? Just listen to my hari-katha, enough. Don't need to do anything else. Shukadeva Goswami Pada, he told the katha to Parikshit Maharaj. Then Parikshit Maharaj, how much money he gave to Shukadeva how much he offered to Shukadeva because he spoke hari-katha? No, nothing. And how did he listen to the katha? Not like us. We cannot even speak like this, not also listen like this. For 7 days, 7 nights, continue. So all his hunger, thirst, nothing. We are looking at the watch all the time. Maharaj, already 7 p.m. Maharaj, finish this, come on. How can I go alone to my house? Hey? How can I go alone back? How can I go back alone? So we are thinking about these things or not? It's easy to speak, but to follow this in your life is so difficult, isn't it? Easy to say. Very easy to say. Okay, so sit down and let's see. For 7 days, 7 nights. You cannot even listen, and also I cannot speak for 7 days, 7 nights. For I speak some katha, then I become tired. Understand? But Parikshit Maharaj, for 7 days and 7 nights, continuously. Before, I also had this confusion. Oh, they must have taken some rest. But the Guru Vaishnavas, they told me, no. This sloka is explained really like this. Our acharyas also explained that for 7 days and 7 nights continuously, they didn't drink nor eat. Jasruta means if you listen immediately, then you just become absorbed. You want Gopi Bhava? Very easy and also very difficult also. You want Gopi Bhava? Okay. So become absorbed, but to become absorbed is not so easy. It's not so easy. You're absorbed in your lust and hunger very easily, but to absorb in bhakti is so difficult. That's why Swami Bhagavan mercifully, he came from the transcendental world to manifest his pastimes in this world. This is the main reason. And also Swami Bhagavan also told, hey Arjuna, listen. This is a verse of Parama Purana. There are so many pastimes that people don't know. So I want to manifest these pastimes in this material world. And people will see these pastimes and they will be absorbed in me. And also especially these pastimes that happen in Nitya Goloka Vrindavana Dham. I want to manifest these leaders in this material world, these upapatita bhav, paramour moods. Actually, these very confidential things. I'll just speak 2 words about this paramour mood. So in this world, there is no paramour moods. The parakya bhava of this world is actually a sin thing, and take you to hell if you stay with the wife of others. It's a sin, and then you have to go. You may be a man or a woman. If you do paramour moods in this world, you go to the hell for many lives. But in the transcendental world, these things are going on. Also, these Dasa Sakavatsala Shingaras, these 4 rasas, how they are in the spiritual world. And these things were not manifested in Vaikuntha. In Vaikuntha, Yoda, Dwaraka, Mathura, all these leelas were not there. But these leelas were in Gokul Vrindavan. So these leelas, Krishna himself, he manifested in this material world. So there are also many reasons. Okay, so I'll speak a little bit about the Gauna Karan, means the secondary reasons why Krishna came in this world. Just like Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, that he comes again and again to this world when the demons, they destroy the Varnashram Dharma, and the earth planet becomes so contaminated. The earth cannot resist this burden of the sins. So to release, to free the earth from her burden of the sins, Krishna appears in this world. This is also one of the secondary reasons. That's when Bhagavan comes to destroy and to the demons and to protect the sadhus. To protect the sadhus. We are all sadhus. You are all sadhus. So to protect the sadhus and to punish evil persons like Kamsa. That's why also Krishna comes in this world. So the evil persons or those who are doing something wrong should be punished. If you don't punish those who are doing wrong things, then the society will be corrupted and contaminated and degraded. That's why Swami Bhagavan also comes from the transcendental world to this world. So look, Swami Bhagavan also, for many reasons, he manifested these pastimes. You know, Ratnabali, she was the daughter of Bali Maharaj. So she wanted to breastfeed Vamana Deva, but when she saw the daughter of Bali Maharaj, when she saw that when she saw that Vamana Deva took everything from her father, she said, I will put the venom on my breast and I will kill you. Then Vamana Deva told, I am God, you cannot kill me, but certainly I will breastfeed you. Oh, I will give you opportunity to take milk from your breast. And also Krishna also killed many demons like Shalakatasur, etc. In the Leela of Ramchandra, you can see that Bhagavan Ramachandra, you can see that when Ramachandra, he went to Janakpuri, Bhagavan Ramachandra, he was so beautiful. Seeing the beauty of Lord Ramachandra, all the ladies of Janakpuri, they became so attracted by him. Because God is so beautiful, his form is so beautiful. Seeing that form, all of them, they were thinking in their minds, all of them were thinking, Ramachandra is my wife, my husband. I want him as my husband. And Krishna is the Ramachandra is Vanchakalpataru, he is the wish fulfilling tree, and he knows everyone's desires. So he said, look, in Dwapara Yuga I'll come as Krishna, and at that time, yeah, I can fulfill your desires. So all these girls from Janakpuri, they were born in Vraja as gopis, and they did rasa with Bhagavan. Our Acharya show so if somebody listens about these leelas, remembers these leelas, then the person can attain Bhagavan. So that's why we speak about the Bhagavat Katha. Because in Kali Yuga, no need to speak any other Katha in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, you should listen about Garuda Purana. Because when somebody dies, generally they recite the Garuda Purana. Why to speak about Garuda Purana? Also, you'll die one day. Why to speak about ghosts and witches? We should listen about Bhagavat Katha. At each step is so delicious. This Katha is so beautiful, just like a nectar and hari-katha. Listen, hari-katha, just like our Prabhuji. Such a beautiful. He spoke this. I wanted him to continue singing. So beautiful. But the time is short. But his kirtan gives so much bliss. The kirtan of Damodar Prabhu. So many devotees, they do kirtan. But our Damodar Prabhu, this katha gives so much bliss. Gurudev also used to say. So, Krishna Das Prabhu, that left, he went to Nitya not long time ago, and another great kirtaniya is Damodar Prabhu ki jai. So he sings so well, all the Vraja Kirtan. So here, I'll finish here. Let's do Arati. But please, yeah, he'll do the Bhagavat Arati, but before do a little bit Kirtan.
महाराज जी को भी ये प्रिय था भजन, और दूसरे महाराज जी को